this is what you get. Anyway, so in the Lace Market, Nottingham, there's a it's both a pub and a bottle shop, according to the net. Anyway, my first ever time visiting it was in May with Mr. Bullman Beer Reviews and his good lady wife. And here's where it gets a bit vague. I think I had an Imperial Sour because one was getting slightly intoxicated by that time, as you can imagine. But anyway, went in there, spilt some down me. I know I can remember that bit because I remember some of my jeans. And but it was a damn nice Imperial Sour from Vault City Brewing. You know, one of the better, one of the kings or queens, depending if it's a lady or male owned business. But nonetheless, one of the best sour makers in the world. Sour beer makers, that is. So yeah, I was in there. I did a review while I was in there, and slightly intoxicated review. Didn't care who was around me either. But no, the place itself was a true craft beer pub. No issues with, you know, idiots or anything. Can't remember if there was a bouncer on the door. Usually when there's bouncers, that's not a good it's not a good advertisement, because usually they're the sort of pubs I avoid, because I don't. If there's a bouncer on the door, there's a reason for a bouncer on the door. Like most Wetherspoons, there's usually 3 or 4 bouncers, and that tells you something. Um, but the pub itself, great selection of cask and keg, and obviously the bottle shop side of things. I didn't really see that, so you know, that's what you get for being drunk. But what I can say was that the beer itself was fantastic. We had a good time in there, no issues. There was a little outside garden area that I remember vaguely, and the staff were really nice. And that's all we can say, really. You know, you can only say as you see it, and I'm not going to lie about anything, because it's just not the way. It's just not me. I don't say it as I see it. Jobs are good, and you know, if I have to call something out, I'll call it out in a nice way. So yeah, no issues whatsoever. You will. It is where Mr. Craft Beer Basic used to work before he went to Neon Raptor. So fair play on that, man. Um, but yeah, cracking little craft beer pub, and another one to put on your list of to-do places in the craft beer Nottingham. There's some great pubs in Nottingham. You know, you can keep away from the beer fight, you know, the lager pubs, and just enjoy a nice beer in a good environment, and you know, beers that you probably never had before. This is where Nottingham, for me, is becoming an amazing city. I've never even heard of the Junkyard until the good man Bullman Beer Reviews took me down. So it's amazing, since being in Nottingham all my life. Hey up me duck. But yeah, been in Nottingham all my life, and in the last 4 years, the amount of pubs and bars, tap rooms that have opened up is just staggering, and fair play. It's putting Nottingham on the map, because you don't get issues in them. Yeah, the beer is slightly more expensive, but you don't mind paying for decent beer if you're not going to have any trouble. None of us want trouble when we go to the pubs. Don't want it, never will. You know, you want to drink good beer, have good conversation, not have music blaring out, but have good conversation. Conversation's king. Music blaring out where you can't hear yourself talk. Yeah, there's pubs for that. Thankfully, this isn't one of them. So, will I go to Junkyard again? Yes, yes, probably in a few weeks' time, probably. Um, what would I give it out? 5 for me. Bearing in mind I was off steaming at that stage, a good 4.6 out of 5. Cheers, everyone, and thank you for the hospitality. We was in there. Good customer service is king, because people come back. Cheers. Now I'm going to drink my coffee, get back to work.